So earlier I recorded the one I'm going to call Epiphany, and today it's the 6th, and it's the Epiphany, the 6th of January. I don't know if it falls always on the same day, but I studied a bit about that. Like I researched it, not studied it, and it has something, whatever, esoteric. So I called it Epiphany, and it was very daring and all that. But now I got up because I wasn't feeling well, because I touched something in a cupboard, like something higher, like towards the roof, the ceiling. Oh, I'm not feeling well. It's early in the morning, like 6 a.m. something. Uh, oh, I'm itching and at the same time feeling weird. Like I don't know what it is. It's almost like it feels a bit like some kind of dust mites or parasites, like something like scabies, but more complex, more like radioactive, more electronic, something weird. I feel like my body in a certain area of my kitchen, it's like they're contaminating, just like here when I showed the bus at some point. What was it? This one? Yeah, here. It was a while back. Oh no, because I thought I was on I thought I was on uh, selfie. So selfie like this would have been, instead of seeing me, you would have seen the bus. So that looks like a bus. That's it. But it's just that until it left, I was feeling so ill. My whole apartment. I guess it was some kind of radioactive thing because they brought it with. I don't know if I show it. Uh, they put it with some kind of. No, I don't see it here. Anyway, so people should know that they could also attack me with radioactivity. Everything, it's like, it's just, I guess, I never know technically, I didn't do research how radioactivity feels like, but I know I have an idea it's a long story how I think I know, because I mean, radioactivity is illegal, right? But the thing is, that bus, there was something about it that just outside I was ill. And when it left, I stopped being ill. So right now I go in my kitchen and I'm ill, and it's not from the water. But sometimes even when I was just running the water, and before the water was like sort of like this in the kitchen. So that's another weird thing, that after I put that one, I recorded one talking about that the water is like this one. Look, here you see, it's like milky, and it was even more than now, even in the, and it's something to do with the hot water tank. You see, the white water tank doesn't do that. Well, it's similar. It's always a bit of white. Like I said, I saw white powder and I recorded it. That the white powder is impossible. If it's calcium, it's like chalky and it's not, it's like a stain. It doesn't turn into a powder like baby powder. That's how it was. So here you see, it has less or no white at all. But yesterday it did. So I'm just reporting. And here I know they did something to the, like near here when I touch these things, uh like when I touch here, I get like a weird itching, but it feels like really toxic, like something weird, like a contamination. It doesn't feel like just dust mites or dust, or and I don't know what's happening. I got to report this because, like I said, the water, you saw the dust in the one I made a short, right? Also, the one I made, that was, it's intense. You got to watch it. It's how many minutes? Because it's on this phone, so I can't tell you. It's 20 something minutes, over 20 minutes, but it's not, it's less than a half an hour. But you got to see all of it, especially at the end. But I don't know if I did say the word epiphany, but when I checked my calendar, I saw all day epiphany on the 6th. So everything, like I said, and if you do the research, it has something to do with a sort of something esoteric. Because me, I go by natural intuition and in meditation. So I see and I sense things intuitively, but mostly physically, because we live in a very toxic world. And I happen to have something that makes me frail and sensitive, but it also makes me more sensitive to higher energies, higher frequencies, the spiritual world, if you want to call it, the real dimensions that connect. Anything spiritual is frequencies that connect other frequencies. On 3D, this is the densest, lowest. It's almost like the scale of the frequency, that hurts. The earth is 1 point something, but when you meditate, or healing one is 400 something. And then you have, for certain insects or mice, to push them away, you have 2000 exactly frequency. And it's a long story, but there's so many things that frequency, and then there's also resonance, and there's also it's all about vibration and frequency, and similar resonance is when it relates, or connectivity. So all I can tell you is that I'm being constantly, whether it's water, air. My air purifier had the same dust you saw on that short, and if you could find it, I should have kept it, because sometimes I don't have enough data, especially on this phone, which is old. It's only 64 gigs. So this one is a little more, and plus I put a memory card, but I can't afford right now two new phones. And this one is sort of used new, but it's not new, like over $1,000 on a contract, because I guess I could pay for it. But the thing is, I don't know about my budget exactly, especially now. I'm always paying for things that sometimes I have to throw water and food away because it makes me sick, as simple as that. Like now, I had to buy. I bought a Brita, but I have it, and I don't know if it's by manufacturer, like tampered with. It's like a hamburger. I eat a hamburger. The girl's nervous that gives it to me. Then I feel sick. I mean, do you have to be mentally ill to fantasize, or is it that if you don't feel sick, you don't feel sick? I mean, you could be even paranoid about being poisoned, but you're not actually gonna see in a video ambulance parking near you, the girl sweating that served you the hamburger. That's it, the ambulance that doesn't do nothing, and it's near the restaurant where you ate. Or like that time, this girl goes, "I'll go get you a punch." I thought it was gonna be a glass of fruit punch. It was like a little medicinal cup, and that's it. After I drank it, forget it. I had things coming out of my body. Like now, I don't know if it's something that they sprayed through the because I know sometimes they make funny noises, tapping, drillings, and I know it's pretty much never the people that live there. Sometimes I actually saw a guy sleep over next door and not open the door when I knocked, like saying, "What are you doing there?" It wasn't even rented. And when they were cleaning the apartment before, my new neighbor, which can't talk, that has some kind of, and he always needs social workers. So I have nothing against that, but the idea is that they weaponize people. The guy upstairs actually literally said it. He goes, "I'm always like heavily medicated. I'm always sleeping. They say, I hear them sometimes, they bother me. They come in and do construction." I think that construction is more gadgets to make me ill in the apartment, because out of whim, I either bleed or get sweat, or I have dust in my mouth and I find it in the air purifier, or in a whim I get like other symptoms that are weird. Like today, I don't know what it is coming through, but I think I feel like weirdly sick. So all you could say, and I made that video that you're gonna see, Epiphany, is, and I don't know how I was intuitively, I went to like I heard like revving. And obviously, I talked about the secret police. Obviously, they know probably that I sent one of the videos that shows one ambulance guy helping me. And now I think he subscribed to my channel. I'm pretty sure it's him, because I don't remember his name. The first one I remember, but I didn't ask him his family name. But he has his family. If you see my subscribers, you're going to see this guy, Stefan. And he was questioning two guys with dark sunglasses. So if you see an ambulance that goes round and round, where you're stopped with another ambulance, and originally they thought them too, they said, "Well, you want to go to the hospital," meaning mental disease, that you're filming. Obviously, I would think that too if somebody's filming an ambulance, and I wouldn't have lived the horrors I've lived in the last 7 years. So it's sad. And if you see this almost every night when you open your window, this was about 2 something in the morning. So this is what I mean. What kind of life? Right now, if I feel ill from some kind of, you might say, "Look, you're crazy, but I have proof. I have bumps on my body. I have." If you have a scenario like this, do you think I make all that up? Do you think I'm that crazy? And I never hurt anybody, and I even avoided conflict and this and that all my life. And now all of a sudden, at my elderly age or close to retirement, I'm starting to do all this to my body. At the same time that Apopex and the police are mad at me because I recorded a 911 call, especially the police. Apopex was already making me ill for the last 16 years. And like I said, that water was like milky white, even in the kitchen. And all of a sudden, when I put the video talking about water toxicity and showing the dust, me going like that from my pen. But people could say, you made that up. Why would I stage all that? And it looks very natural. It doesn't look like I'm spreading. Why would I do that? Why would I try to put white powder in which I don't even have baby powder. I have it bagged, and I showed it once literally that I have it bagged on purpose, not to worry. Maybe I used it on my body and it went through in the air purifier. So I'm always careful not to accuse the police of this. If I thought any of these ones had even a 1 or even 0.001% chance of not being the police or some, because they have the technology to do this for me from far. Even the pesticides did this to me and make me bleed. They took me to the hospital. They didn't want me to even walk. They wanted me to put me in a stretcher at when I was living on another street here near at Côte des Neiges, near the plaza. It was still walking distance to the plaza. I lived on a street that's pretty rock and roll. I don't know if I should say it, but that's the whole point. So before they used to treat me with a little respect. Now when I'm sick, they attack me further at the hospital. When I was sick with this arm, that they wrote down that I'm crazy, that there was a larvae, but it was moving something inside my arm, whether it was a reaction of the body or a kind of parasite, because I feel itching sometimes, extreme itching. So what could I think now? That if this weird thing that seems almost chemical, nuclear, something is attacking me in the kitchen. Like it's not my imagination. Obviously, is this my imagination? Look at this part when they were putting a white dust all over my floors. And then when I was brushing it off, at some point I go, I'm fed up of cleaning it. It was someone in the building doing that. In fact, I don't want to get into that because they get offended. I can't even say the crimes the police or EPIPHANY or people near. They are so entitled that they think they could do this to me, and I have to say, yes, I'm crazy. I did all this to my body. Yeah, why not? It is disgusting, and that's why I said, if people don't see the karma yet, you will see it. I don't want to repeat what I've said. Just see the Epiphany, Warlock Epiphany video, something like that. Something with Warlock and Epiphany. I forgot what I named it. See, I hate... Okay, I'm planning on calling it Montreal WARLOCK'S Epiphany, under parentheses. But it's just a title I gave it because I just happened to notice on the calendar that it was the Epiphany, because I go, when am I going to upload this? Now, in the next midnight, now it's like not even 6:40 a.m. on the Epiphany on the 6th of January 2026. See, two sixes, 6 of 2026. So there's 2 6s, not 3. It's not 666. But I'm trying to be funny, but it's scary. If it would have been a few years ago, or even when I recorded that bus, I was panicking. And even now, I panicked for a little while, but I don't express it. Not because I'm brave, because it doesn't serve a purpose. Sometimes I worry, and I'm scared of the police. Not scared in the sense like in a panic, having a panic attack mode, but scared in the sense that I know my life is in danger, because this is serious. I just now mentioned something in the kitchen, just like I mentioned that bus. The magic bus. This was really a magic bus. This was killing me, this bus. It was there, and thank God they took it away, because I think they knew it was going to kill me. Same thing what they put and I always have trucks like that following me at Maxi, and there's always something stupid doing, and they're always doing something illegal. But the thing is, that magic bus, where do I have it filmed? There it is. The magic bus of the Who. They took it away after even before I showed the video, but I think I did show it somewhere. But the idea is now, if they don't stop doing what they did in the kitchen, I'm as good as dead. I feel it. I woke up, I feel like pain in my chest, but not only my chest, everywhere, all my cells, I feel them breaking down. I feel like numb and itching, and just like, I feel I'm becoming like a zombie. And they like putting things in me that make me like feel no flow. Like there's even certain viruses that make you feel like even that you can't go to the bathroom, and they even said it on TV. They gave it a word, something like mummified. Some people were calling it zombie. It's something that attacks the neurons, something that blocks the body from working. Obviously, if they keep putting that, even if it doesn't kill me right away, I'm going to be either, if I become less and less able to connect with this higher nature of mine, and I was like that a bit when I was young because of my tonsils. And trust me, police, it wouldn't make me, I'm not saying for sure I'm going to turn to being more revengeful or legally challenging and doing things more on a 3D. So you can imagine, if you were in my place, you could just imagine what you would wish on me, a police and EPIPHANY, if I was doing to you what you're doing to me. That's all we have to say. Never mind the lies that I'm crazy, because that's the card, that's the magic, la carte magique, that's disgusting and monstrous. that it just shows that it's wrong. I feel like doing the tarot online live just to see what comes out. I usually shouldn't do that, but no, I won't do it. It's because the future, you can't really predict it. If we could, and we can't change the future, it is what it is. It's going to be almost like a tipping point. It's going to be almost like everything that happens, my life or death, is sort of more on 3D in their hands than mine and in God's, because they're part of God too. This is what people don't understand. There is no one that's a demon, really. Even the demon, demonic energy, even the evil that snipes kids and makes war and funds wars, which is what? Come on, let's be honest. Everything. Look at Chrystia Freeland. She went from bad to worse. She's like helping fund and encourage. Because I'm not saying that Ukraine is worse than Russia, but Russia is worse than, and China, they're worse than our general way of life 30, 40 years ago. Maybe after the war, for another 30, 40 years, we were a bit democratic and free, or the illusion of it, because the Freemasons behind it wanted to keep us dumb. And people like George Carlin are heroes, because George Carlin knew before that we knew that we were in deep shit, that we were brainwashed, that we were programmed. Now, I don't know if I'll survive what they're doing to me, my water, my air. You see that they're not even hiding it from you, because they know I'll show you this. They know I'll show you that. So why wouldn't, if they're doing that, that's to show me, but they know I film, unless they would have blocked my camera. Sometimes they stretch the thing. Sometimes they stop my recordings, like I showed you some recordings. I don't know if I still have them here. Show you. You see, this is when it flatlined. That means they have jammers. So the idea that they let me film them, because I know they could put products, whether it's like, that's why I say to the police, are you not killing me? Because I'm not naive. I know they could kill me from a distance without me even knowing. And this is why, with all that science, and they're not even the United States. Imagine how, if the United States is, let's say, 1.5 times as intelligence, the gadgets and the technology as the Montreal secret CSIS, even if they're like 5% more, what they're doing to me, if they would apply it on real criminals, there would be no crime, no drugs in Canada, no people, because they are so good. But in my case, it's at being evil. So this is what I don't understand. I made this one because I'm more reassured. I'm more calm now, because they calm me down, because it's almost like as if they would tie me, even though I don't let them tie me because there's no legal reason. When they put products so strong, they humble me, because I see how much I'm suffering now that I can't even, it's a suffering so much, just like that bus, that I know I'm fucked and I know I'm going to die in a horrible way. And it could happen if right now I'm here in the kitchen. I'm going to go now. And I don't even have to touch the furniture, because me, I'm so sensitive. I don't even have to touch the furniture somewhere here. I won't tell you where, but somewhere here in the cupboards, they've done something from upstairs, because sometimes I hear them drilling. Where do those sounds come from? They have to come from somewhere. It's not something logical that at 2 a.m, the guy upstairs doesn't even flush, and then you hear and they're not living there. They're not walking like they used to. And like I said, the guy told me that he's medicated, and at least he had the decency to be, and they put someone very aggressive. Even the guy next door, he's nice usually, but at one point he almost looked at me and he almost wanted to do something violent, just like the guy that did the P38. But me, just with eye contact, even people that are out of control, when it comes to a high pitched, I bring it up a notch, but in a calm way. I try to always now, but even when I got in that little scuffle, it was a bit my fault, because I went into a bit of a fear mode, because they told me, hey, you're attacking us with the phone. It was, how can you attack someone with the phone unless you're 2 feet away? I was like at least 6, 7 feet away. So they were just being rough. So it's like the guy upstairs, at one point, he wanted to almost jump. I just looked at him and I calmed him down. I said, what? And I looked at him like, I'm in the right. Like he was throwing water on my balcony, like tons of it. So I wanted to ask what's going on. And at one point, when I saw that, I became a bit friendly with him. But he's an MK, they're all MK Ultra. And the girl, even though she wasn't before, I think the MK Ultra before, she changed so much. And I know she had some kind of psychiatric problem. Most people in the building do. Me, even though I have a sensitivity, it affects, I used to be more anxious and more, that's why I was like insisting the police help me. because environmental sensitivity makes you so stressed that eventually, if you don't meditate, you will become. And for a while, I did take some meds, but not meds. It's. I think I mentioned it, but it's not important. And it was always me in control to a certain level. And I even got addicted, and then I had to taper off, and I did it my way. The doctor goes, "Oh, you should have come to the hospital because you can't stop those meds." I go, "I could, because this is the whole point. There's nothing that ever addicted me in my life. Well, some things, because it's always a de-stressing. So, but not medication, not alcohol. I could drink alcohol now. It's like I just noticed, hey, it's 3 months that I don't even buy a little Mickey. I used to buy a Mickey almost every month, just for heat. And now I just happen to, because it's a long story. And then I noticed I don't miss alcohol. I don't care about anything. And I think I put a little bit in these drops that I take for my health. And I won't talk about that. See, I should even have a teaching channel, but the thing is, whatever I say I do to protect myself, they want to break that down. Now they're showing me they could kill me. It doesn't have to be the water or the air purifier. They could kill me with radioactivity, some kind of toxic thing that I'm just in my apartment and I'll die. Obviously, they want me out. But I would move anytime to somewhere better or similar to this one, but this one is torture. So how would I imagine getting in a better place if they offer it? Anybody related to EPIPHANY, the police, the HLM? Because even though the basic things, they haven't blocked my bank account, or they haven't kicked me out. But how could they do it? They would have to admit to crime. Just like before, they took away my freedom for a little while, but they invented things on my reaction to their torment. So this is what they do. They come after you. And when you react to what they did, then you're crazy or a criminal. One of the two. If I would have been more physically or verbally direct, they would have put me in jail. But they decided to go because since I'm nonviolent, oh, but he says he has to, he worries that one day he'll have to defend. Oh, so he's mentally ill. So they get you either way, the police. Usually what they do in the States or England is that even on Zoom, even a lady, even a mother in front of her child, they arrested her. This is disgusting. Because they invent the problem, they bother you, whether it's technically or verbally, or in my case, they saw that I was saying on the police, hey, police, I'm meditation, I'm strong. Yeah, I shouldn't have said that. I should have said, you're tormenting me, I have nightmares of you, police. This is what would have got me less torture, right, police? I would have said, oh my God, I always worry. And when I was young, I was always worried somebody would hurt me. Obviously, if you're human, when someone you say, my God, somebody's really after me, I'm in danger. So you're always worried about that because fight or flight. We live, that's why we have to go to the bathroom. I have water, I have oxygen, and those are the basic things. So they attack me on everything to do with housing, with breathing, with touching. So I'm totally effed. And that's why I'm making this video. It doesn't matter if in the other video it was honest. It was a bit ego and rage. Yes, I admit it. It wasn't hate. And I'm not saying it because it's against the law to hate people. They could torture us, hurt us, shoot us out of even a whim of imagination, out of their behind. But we can't, even if we're broken into in our apartment, even if the police follows me, people bump into me, they say, pass by here. I have to listen to whatever they say. They come into me, they smile, I have bumps on my body, but I can never really actually defend or hurt them, right? No. They could hurt me, even though they do it sometimes obvious, like those officers grabbing my hands, but they didn't grab them physically. They just came close, they tapped my hand, and I said, why are you trying to grab it? And even though he didn't grab it firmly, my hand got injured. So I'm just reporting the truth, reporting and explaining beyond the epiphany. This is beyond the Montreal, beyond the epiphany, meaning this is me saying I'm effed and I'm probably going to die, because it's even worse than air and water and this. It's like I can't get away from them. They're poisoning me so much. I feel it now. My body, I don't know what they did, but they're good. They're good at evil. So, but does it change the main message? And I'm saying it now, police, whether I say it more, that I have more passion, or now that I'm just becoming a zombie, I'm dying. But it doesn't matter whether I die or not. You're going to get the karma. So be guaranteed. It's in the mail. I don't know when it's going to get there. It's a very slow overseas. I love and forgive everybody, but why do you have to put me through this? It's just, It's just that now I'm so curious to see when is justice going to happen, because I know that there's something just that runs the universe, or else the planets would be unbound. So, and I know, and you could see that I'm a very convincing, psychotic, imaginary person. I'm convincing because it's the truth. Everything I've said is the truth, and I wish it wasn't so. Sometimes people get mad at me in these most centers for help have mental disease orientation because that's the only way they get funding. So the Quebec government could just put anybody in an institution at a whim. I'm not waiting for it, but it's an option they have to do with me. Because whatever they do, how could I refuse? You don't even need a warrant if they say that what I said was insulting or dangerous, or it's disgusting. It's just bleh. And all I could say is that regardless of how I'll feel and how I'll deteriorate, or I'll become a zombie, or I'll die, or I'll be taking away my phone, it's gonna be glorious for the people that I could see through my soul. If I'm gonna be, who knows, in another body, or in the I don't know what's gonna happen, but I don't feel I could take it anymore. I just, my body, I feel it, and I don't want to say my options, but you could imagine they're very limited. And of course, it's not. I'm not saying this not to have them even further detain me or declare me mentally unstable, but I never have the intention of hurting anybody, and I always try to get away. But is that enough? Because they follow me even to my apartment. You saw the ones in the, they're flashing their lights, meaning is you are never alone. And they wrote it on the papers. They said, oh, we worry about him so much we have to put a security guard in the hospital next to him. And I was looking at the security guard like, well, what are you going to do? And that's why when it's a fair fight, police, you wouldn't have a chance. But because I'm not healthy and old, any police officer could take me on. He doesn't have to be 6. But the fact is, I don't know about that spiritual energy. I don't know about if you'd be 1,000 officers, 1,000,000 nuclear weapons, even what you're doing to me now, which is partially, I don't know what kind of toxicity. I'll probably die from it. But just if I don't, or even if I die from it, like, it's either going to be like Stephen Greer says, I could be more trouble after I'm dead, or maybe less. Maybe it's more trouble if you leave me alive. I'll be honest with you. That's how you know I'm honest. I don't know which one is worse. But guaranteed, whether I'm a dead or alive, you're coming with me. That's what RoboCop says. I say, dead or alive, I'm going to make sure God sends you all these beautiful things you're doing to me. Police, whoever. See, I'm not going to name police. Whoever is participating directly or indirectly in making my life a living hell for whatever little time I have left, I'm sending you love back. And it is real love and forgiveness. But we'll see what that energy does, meaning we'll see what that either augments or detracts the karma. I hope you don't have a lot of karma, but I just hope you remember when it'll dawn on you that you had other options instead of torturing me like this to death.